Hi guys, welcome to the NiKo Show. Today we are going to be talking about Resident Evil 8, which is Resident Evil Village. Now, personally, as you might have seen, the topic of this video is going to be how Resident Evil Village is two different games in one. Now, why do I think that way is because we're going to discuss this together step by step. So, first thing is when you play the game for the first time, Resident Evil Village is obviously a survival horror game. So, you will always be looking for ammo. You will always be checking your corners if there is an enemy hiding in the corner waiting to jump scare you or waiting to kill you. So you will always be on the edge of your seat when you're on the first playthrough. Now the advantage that you have in the first playthrough is that you don't know where the enemies are, where the puzzles are, where the solution to the puzzles are, where are all the items that you require to complete the aforementioned puzzles. So you will always be looking out in each and every corner of the map and looking where is the solution. And while you are doing that, you have to also obviously fight against the enemies, all the different bosses that are in the game. And so you will be exploring each and every corner of the map very in a very hyper way, especially if you are a guy like me who wants to collect each and everything in the game. So the first playthrough of the game is going to be very slow because you will be jumped by many enemies. Surprisingly, you won't know the enemy placements that well during the first playthrough. So that keeps the first playthrough of the game very survival horror-ish, in my opinion, right? So whatever it is advertised, you get the enjoyment from the game. But in the second playthrough, you know most of the things in the game, right? When you run through the first time, every enemy encounter is new, each and every area is new, so you don't know where the hidden trinkets are in the game. But in the second playthrough, everything changes. In the first playthrough, where you are scavenging for ammo, saving up money for upgrading your guns which you like, and then also managing your inventory, because that is one of the most important aspects of any Resident Evil game. But in the second playthrough, it is sort of a revenge run. So whichever bosses gave you the most most frustrating battles, in the second run through you can actually upgrade your guns and then play the game as a Call of Duty game, right? Now that is again just my opinion, but that is how I view Resident Evil 8 particularly, because in the first playthrough you are always managing your money, managing your inventory, and then deciding which guns to upgrade. And then in the first playthrough you don't even know which guns are good, which guns are not that great. So there is always this element of experimenting with guns in the first playthrough, and then sticking with the one that you like the most, and then investing all the money in upgrading those particular guns only. Now, one good thing about Resident Evil Village is that after completing the game, you get these completion points, I think. And when you get those completion points, there are many upgrades that you can buy for guns like infinite ammo, or unlocking certain other guns which were not in the first playthrough. So that really expands the horizon of how you play the game, especially in the second playthrough. So let's say you completed the game once on any difficulty, on normal or on nightmare or whatever the difficulty names are, and then when you complete that difficulty, you have these set of completion points which you can then use to upgrade the gun which you loved during the playthrough. Now personally, I loved the Wolf's Bane, the revolver. It is amazing to look and has these intricate details on the cylinder and all the gun barrel, and I like the color combination of the gun, and the gun is also powerful. So I loved that gun. So in the first playthrough, I never had the chance to shoot the gun whenever I wanted, right? Because there is that ammo, the ammo for Wolfsbane is very rare in the game, that revolver ammo. So what I did was I didn't get to use that gun much in the first playthrough. But when I completed the first playthrough, I got these completion points. Then I started thinking, what should I do with these completion points, right? So what I did was I said, let me replay the game on a higher difficulty. This time, what I will do is I will unlock the infinite ammo for Wolfsbane. But I couldn't do that in my second playthrough as well, because I needed some more points so that I could not only unlock the infinite ammo, but I had to upgrade the gun completely. Now, to get the infinite ammo, you have to upgrade the gun fully, right? So there was this barricade that made me replay the game twice. So I had to experience the Wolf's Bane in all its glory. I had to replay the game the third time. So during the third playthrough, the game became Call of Duty. All I did was I sold everything, sold every gun in the game, had some healing items, had some herbs here and there, had that first aid syrup which you drop on your hand and your hand magically heals from any injury. So I used those. My inventory only had like healing items and Wolf's Bane. That's it, and maybe some grenades here and there, I think, and that's about it. So my second playthrough was only Wolf's Bane, and I was using the gun like crazy because the first time and the second time I didn't get to fully use that gun to its maximum potential. So the third run was sort of a very revenge run, sort of to just take revenge on my frustrating bosses. Like for example, the so one of the frustrating bosses was Heisenberg, I believe. I was forgetting his name, so I had to edit the video out because I just forgot the name of the guy. So yeah, there is this boss called Heisenberg in the game where it was frustrating on a higher difficulty and with having limited ammo. So on my third playthrough, I just mowed him down with my Wolf's Bane. So these things, these little things, really add a different dimension to every playthrough that you have. So you can basically mix match guns. You can use the basic pistol and mix it with an assault rifle that you get towards the end of the game. So you can mix match all this stuff, and then you can decide if you want the infinite ammo upgrade for that particular gun. Now if you do want that gun, you will have to be vigilant from beginning of the playthrough, because there are certain checklists that you have to uh, complete before you can actually a before you can actually buy the infinite ammo upgrade for that gun, right? So these things were a bit irritating for me to figure out, but once you figure it out and once you get the upgrade, Resident Evil Village becomes a completely different game in the subsequent playthroughs. And basically you can just play it as a Call of Duty zombies mode, right? You know where the enemies are, which enemies frustrated you the most, and then you can have these guns sort of just go in guns blazing and clear out the entire village within seconds. And then you can also do speed runs and add those challenges, and again you can increase the difficulty to Madhouse. I don't know if that is what the difficulty name is, but basically playing on the highest difficulty and mixing and matching all the guns. So this is what Resident Evil Village did better than most other games of this genre, is that you can play the game in two different ways. Now again, you can choose not to upgrade any of these things. You can choose to ignore all these upgrades and just unlock concept art with those completion points, but you can just do whatever you like in this game when you want to play it on a different playthrough. So what I did was, for my first two playthroughs were sort of survival horrorish, especially the first one, because I went in blind. I had seen some trailers and everything, but I didn't know what to expect. Of course, we knew Lady D is in it, Lady Dimitrescu is in it. So yeah, the first playthrough was completely survival horror. I was on the edge of my seat. I didn't know what to expect. I was saving my ammo at every checkpoint, so that I was going back to the to the typewriter room so that I could save my game and then continue with the next stage, so that I don't lose my precious ammo. So but in the second playthrough I did the opposite of it. I hardly saved. I just gunned through the levels, used Wolf's Bane on everyone, and bosses die like in one or two shots. That's it. At least the first couple of bosses do that. So fun experience, right? So this is something that I was thinking about, that how amazing the designers and developers have done a job, that you can play a game as it is intended, like a survival horror game. But if you use the upgrades, if you choose to just make your experience fun, then you can go in, upgrade your guns, have the infinite ammo for any of the gun you like, and then just keep playing the game in a very different dimension. So this is all I wanted to discuss in this video. This is going to be a short one. uh, just let me know your thoughts on this. Did you play this game, and did you get a chance to replay this game? If you did play it the first time, do let me know in the comments. It will be a fun discussion, that maybe you had a different experience than me, or you didn't even like the game. Let me know in the comments, and we will meet in the next NiKo show. Until then guys, keep gaming and stay healthy.